pushing for 50,000 subscribers right here on GlobeTrotting. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that button, it would mean a lot. The Airbus A320 is one of the most popular narrowbody aircraft that has ever flown. I think you could even stretch it to one of the most popular aircraft families to date. Along with the 737 series, the A320 has been hugely important to airline operations right around the world. When understanding the role the A320 has played within fleets, it takes a lot of work to just focus on one point. However, if we take a look at its reliability and also efficiency, when you combine those together along with all the other benefits, it means that customers have come in and sheer numbers to commit to the type. Even in 2024, and you could argue throughout the 2020s, the series' second edition, the A320neo, is ordered in the hundreds. The family of aircraft nowadays stretches beyond just the A320, with further iterations being hugely important, it must be said. This can reduce to the A319, or nowadays more commonly the A321neo, which was their best-selling series in 2023, with variants going as high as the LR and XLR, boasting additional range capabilities. In what can only be described as a space with pretty fierce competition from counterpart Boeing, what actually propelled Airbus to launch the A320 all those decades ago? Did it pay off? And what's next beyond the A320neo? In the late 1900s, the single-aisle market was a hot topic for debate, and several companies believed there just weren't enough types of aircraft being offered by companies around the world. There were also to be several failed attempts by manufacturers, which meant that there simply wouldn't be anything on offer. The decision to launch the A320 was significantly influenced by the absence of a European competitor in the single-aisle aircraft market during the late 1970s and early 1980s. European companies faced a crucial gap in their fleets for short-haul operations at the time. The options were predominantly from American manufacturer Boeing, notably the 737 series. The lack of a European short-haul aircraft left some airlines in the region with limited choices, and therefore they were forced to maybe rely on your foreign-made planes, often from the United States, which could be perceived in some cases as not ideal. How do you address this and provide European carriers with maybe a homegrown alternative? Well, it's the initiation of the A320 program, with the aircraft aiming to offer better fuel efficiency, great cost effectiveness across several types of missions, and probably one of the more important factors to be advanced technology. By the time the A320 did launch, the mission was to position it as a competitive option, and competing on a larger scale with Boeing. Airbus needed to initiate a massive study to understand what customers would want from such a plane. And while the A320 has been an absolute rock in our industry, it wasn't all smooth sailing. See, in the early stages of the A320 program, various European aerospace companies collaborated under the Joint European Transport, or JET, which reflected the desires to create a unified European solution for a short to medium haul aircraft. However, the JET program faced challenges and complexities arising from just so many parties being involved in trying to work on one aircraft, which meant you could argue the focus at different points felt a little bit skewed, with maybe not everyone on the same page. After quite a fair bit of deliberation, it was recognised that there were limitations to this approach, and it probably wouldn't be in the best interests of everyone to keep going ahead, as it could not only be detrimental to the companies in question, but also this aircraft type that they were studying. There was a crucial shift in strategy, and instead of pursuing separate projects that would have had significant repercussions, key stakeholders believed consolidation was something that was required, and ultimately a more streamlined effort would finally lead to the birth of the A320 family. Labelled at the time as groundbreaking, it would be pretty hard to predict if Airbus could imagine just what the series of aircraft would do for them as a company for so many decades following the initial launch. The Airbus A320's introduction introduced us to fly-by-wire, which really revolutionized the industry and attracted widespread attention from customers. Fly-by-wire is essentially a system in which electronic signals replaced traditional mechanical linkages between various control parts of the aircraft. Airbus recognised that this A320 really needed to bring innovation to the forefront if it was to be deemed as not just a worthy competitor, but an aircraft in its own right that was going to solidify Airbus's place in the market. The A320 really did become the testing ground for this fly-by-wire. Airbus wanted to make sure that they were deploying it on smaller aircraft first, so essentially take the A320 as a bit of a full-scale demonstrator to better understand this technological advancement and what it would do for them in the future. The A320, has it been a success since its introduction? I think most would agree, yes. Launched some time ago, it has been one of the best-selling commercial aircraft right around the world. The A320's success, yes, can be attributed to several key components that I've discussed in today's proceedings, but ultimately, I think the birth of other models that have now been included in the broader A320 family have given it even more life. Whether you're a company looking for a very well-rounded baseline A320neo, or you're seeking something different to drive your operations, maybe that is nowadays the A321XLR. Airbus has done a superb job at developing that family so it encompasses so many different areas. The A320neo program will continue to drive sales for companies looking to push the limitations of single-aisle travel, and while there will be people that are not fans of single-aisle 8-hour travel, and maybe I'd also be in that camp of agreeing with you, for customers it is an efficient option to their needs and can ease pressure on wide bodies. So, looking ahead, many would argue that the next single-aisle aircraft will be a clean sheet. In a similar fashion to Boeing with their 737 series, the fight for the single-aisle market share will continue, but the next iteration will need to introduce groundbreaking technology as we see these rapid advancements take place. Airbus is already studying several endeavours to determine which avenue will be best for their long-term future. How this exactly transpires into their eventual offerings is something that remains to be seen. We're too early on, and a lot of this technology remains unproven. For the moment, well, the A320neo remains an absolutely pivotal part of the manufacturer's day-to-day operations. Where would the company indeed be without the program? That is undoubtedly a fascinating proposal, but no doubt the Airbus we know today would not be the same Airbus without this narrow-body aircraft. Just like Boeing, their single-aisle narrowbody drives orders and deliveries on a monthly and yearly basis. That is going to conclude today's video. If you'd like me to take a look at some more other aircraft launches and the circumstances around it, maybe the future outlook for that plane, do let me know down below in the comments, and also using the form in the description where you can submit your own video ideas. Thank you very much for tuning into another video here on GlobeTrotting. Your support really does mean a lot. Please do take care, do also be safe, and I will indeed see you next time for the latest industry developments. And we'll fly.